Next on Broadway Profiles, Forever Younger. We're talking to two-time Tony winner and star of the hit TV show Younger, Sutton Foster. Plus, battling breast cancer on Broadway. I'll talk to Hamilton star Mandy Gonzalez about her incredible road to recovery. And a little bit later, becoming Princess Jasmine. You'll meet one of the stars of Aladdin, Ariel Jacobs. I'm Tamsen Fadal, and this is Broadway Profiles, presented by Broadway.com. So glad you could join us. I'm Tamsen Fadal. Well, we are counting down the days to September and the expected return of Broadway. But in the meantime, you can still catch plenty of top Broadway stars on TV. Stars like two-time Tony winner Sutton Foster. Right, Paul?
That's right, Tamsen. The 7th and final season of Younger is here, now streaming on Paramount+. And Sutton Foster stars as Liza. We talked about her character, her personal journey during the show, and how excited she is to get back to the Broadway stage.
Will you marry me?
Oh my God. Did she say yes? Are they engaged? I just heard the news.
I'm impressed that Chaz was so romantic.
Something like that.
What are fans in for when they start watching the new season?
They are in for more of Younger fabulousness. I think this is like Liza's most authentic season. She's not settling, she's not compromising, she's really like trailblazing at work and like getting back to like, she's like inventive and inspiring, I think. It really is, she's like super more career focused, although yes, there's romance because it's Younger. It's exciting. It's her and Kelsey kind of, kicking so it's cool.
You know, obviously the whole show started with a lie, and the name comes from that lie. She lied to get a job, but her journey has really taken her to so many amazing places. What's it like to look at that whole journey now that you're at the end of it?
It's wild, Like, I feel like her authentic self has been like emerging. I mean, I think she's always been her authentic self. It's just she's had to had this other conceit to kind of be seen. And now this season she's seen, she's seen, which I think is really beautiful. And like, I mean, you've known me for a really long time, but I feel like so much of like my life too has like been parallel with Liza, like just like a whole new chapter of my own life. It's been like this really interesting journey that I've been on with this character.
Now, your name has been on a Broadway marquee for about 7 months. It's really big. It's up there at the Winter Garden Theater.
I haven't seen it in person. I'm like,
you haven't seen it? Oh my God, I have. It's amazing. What are you most looking forward to about finally getting on that stage with Mr. Hugh Jackman in The Music Man later this year?
Well, more importantly, I think I'm really excited to be sitting in an audience again and watching theater. I miss it so much. It's part of why I love living in New York City. It's part of who I am. So I cannot wait to be an audience member again. And I'm really looking forward to, Hugh and I have rehearsed. We've done we had about 2 weeks of like rehearsal in September, masks and separate tables, and it was just the two of us, and even just being in a room again and creating was so exciting. I can't wait to be able to I'm just thinking about it. I was like, I'll never take the stage for granted again, I never will. So I'm like, really, it'll be very overwhelming and beautiful and hopefully magical. I can't wait.
While Broadway remains closed, we are still here talking about the very best of The Great Bright Way. And one of those truly amazing stories is Mandy Gonzalez. She battled breast cancer while starring in Broadway's biggest show. And hers is a story that is so close to my heart. I lost my mother at a young age to breast cancer. Mandy was diagnosed with breast cancer while starring in Hamilton on Broadway, and yet she continued to perform while undergoing treatment. And then COVID made her journey even more challenging.
I was diagnosed with breast cancer after my first mammogram on October 22nd of 2019. And so everything kind of happened very fast. And at the same time, I was doing 8 shows a week in Hamilton, where I played Angelica Schuyler. So a lot happened at the same time. We're just trying to figure out how to stay working, how to go through surgery and treatment. And then in January, when I started chemotherapy, you started to hear like whispers about what was going on about coronavirus. I was lucky that in New Jersey, where I live, there's also another branch of Memorial Sloan Kettering. So I no longer had to travel into the city for treatment. You know, when you go with your whole family during COVID, it's really hard to keep everybody protected. And so it was really great that they were able to just kind of drop me off so that I could finish up my my chemotherapy. You know, I had planned when I finished to ring the bell and to have my husband with me, and that we did it together, because I really look at cancer as not a me disease, it's really a we disease, because it affects so many people around you. As you're going through it, they're feeling it too. And to not have him there was really, really heartbreaking for me. And I remember ringing the bell and then just kind of walking outside by myself and feeling, you know, I guess I'm done. And then all the nurses came outside and started to applaud. And my husband pulled up out of the parking lot, and he and my daughter made signs that said, "Way to go, Mom," and we're honking. And so I felt like we did it together, and I got in the car and we cried. And so I felt like we did get to have that moment together. And I'm happy to say that I'm cancer-free, and I'm happy to be thriving.
So let's talk about what you did during diagnosis and treatment, because you were in such a role with all eyes on you, playing Angelica Schuyler in Hamilton, 8 shows a week, a mother, coming back and forth into the city. How did you do it?
The way that I got through it, I really tried to be very secretive about it. And then my body started to say, no, you can't be quiet about it. You're tired and this is hard. And so when I was open, I had a meeting with my company. And when I was open about it, it was like this weight had been lifted off. Music was so much a part of my healing. It's been such a big part of my life. It doesn't surprise me that it was part of my, you know, it allowed me to go on. Even if I didn't feel good that day, I knew that, you know, there was an audience waiting to see a show that they had been waiting years to see. And so it gave me that like extra push, you know, which I needed.
You have been very, very busy. You wrote your first novel, a young adult book called Fearless. Talk a little bit of when did you start? When did you do that?
When did I do that? I know. I think when I look back, I just kind of go, when did I do all that? I decided that I wanted to write a young adult novel that deals with my love of Broadway and my love of friendship. So I created this story called Fearless. The main character is Monica Garcia, and she is coming to New York to pursue her dream. And she meets people along the way, and those people become part of her squad, and they go on this Broadway adventure. It couldn't have been a better time, you know, going through what I went through, having to have a moment to sit. I was gonna use that to bring some goodness into this world.
Speaking of stars of Hamilton, it's a good time to talk about it because Hamilton is fresh off a Golden Globe nomination for Best Picture in a comedy musical category. And while it didn't take home the trophy, Broadway's hottest ticket is still largely streamable on Disney+. We talked to the stars.
What's your name, man? Alexander Hamilton. My name is Alexander Hamilton.
It is about the show coming to meet us where we are in a time when we can't yet gather. It gives the world so much more access to not a movie adaptation, but actually the thing I spent 6 years writing.
It's spectacular. Like everybody in this company is so special and so specific. And it's just like, That's the part that I marvel at, and I can't, like, I go to sleep thinking about it, and I wake up thinking about it.
I look at it and I still believe in it as much. I'll tell you why. There's a song early in the show. The song is called The Story of Tonight. 4 men of color singing about friendship and brotherhood. Singing about friendship and brotherhood, and I'd never seen anything like it in my life. The image changed my life.
The hair has to be perfect. The A's have to be straight. You have to join the debate. Clap on that, there's no debate. You'll have Bible camp each summer to keep you pure and clean. Endless rules apply when you're Alyssa Green.
The Netflix musical The Prom is chock full of A-list Hollywood talent, but the breakout star of the film is already familiar to Broadway audiences.
I love this film so much because I think it pays tribute to the stage production. But it also it's kind of a beautiful tribute to who we are as a theatrical community. You know, I think the tone of it captures our spirit, and also allows so many of those important conversations to be had. But in a nutshell, it's a dream come true. You know, it's like I pinched myself realizing that I got to work with Meryl Streep and I got to work with Kerry Washington and now KW and iTex. Like, what is life? I did get Miranda Priestley once, Miss Meryl. It's actually my first day on set and I was so nervous. When Meryl doesn't take, like, you clap for Miss Meryl because she's Meryl and she's brilliant. Every time it's different, it just gets better and better. I learned so much from watching her. But the one time I didn't clap because I had something on my skirt, right? And I'm looking down, I look up and there she is right here. And she said, "You are not clapping. Was it not good?" I said, no, and I sat on the floor and I bowed. I just bowed because I literally was looking at Miranda Priestley, Meryl Streep. I mean, oh my gosh, it was the craziest moment.
And no more hiding how we feel anymore. I won't hide if you're by my side. Now that the prom is back on track.
I 100% relate to Alyssa. There are elements of her story that are very, very personal to me. I remember very viscerally as a young person trying to meet the expectations of so many other people. I think young people today have so many pressures, but I loved that I had the opportunity to explore Alyssa in tandem with working with Carrie, because she made it feel so safe for us to have this conversation about what a mother-daughter relationship looks like between two women of color. And you see Mrs. Green, who ultimately is a bigot, and she's homophobic as well. And that's a topic that is rarely talked about in this setting between two women of color. I love that this story has a happy ending. Like, it has a happy ending. It's all about the possibility that you can stand in your truth and be your most authentic self. And you can wear your crown. There's nothing wrong with who you are.
We still have a lot more to talk about on this edition of Broadway Profiles. Coming up, we're backstage at Aladdin as Ariel Jacobs becomes Princess Jasmine. I'm Tamsen Fadal, and we'll be right back. When Broadway reopens, one of the shows we're most looking forward to seeing again is Disney's Aladdin. The show features classic songs and new favorites, plus an incredible set that includes a magic carpet ride, not to mention top-tier talent like Ariel Jacobs. And when Broadway returns, so will Ariel as Princess Jasmine. Take a look, though, at how she transforms into the princess in this week's character study.
Jasmine is the coolest princess because she's compassionate and strong and independent, and she stands up for what she believes in, but she also is really kind and empathetic. She is not a princess in the way that people, I think, typically think of princess. I don't like to play her that way, at least. When I got cast as the role, I thought, okay, she's a princess, but what is she like inside? How is she a real person with real feelings? And how can I come into this role really just experiencing what I would do in this situation, not how does a princess act or how does a princess walk? You can't think of that stuff because you want it to be real. I have some gorgeous costumes. They are covered in crystals and sequins. She really has her own style. The costumes are beautiful, very heavy because of the crystals. So learning how to dance with all of this extra weight and the full long skirt without tripping on it took a lot of rehearsal. I don't actually feel it's real until I put on the crown, until I put the tiara on. Because before that, I see myself in the mirror, but the second the crown goes on, I see a princess in the mirror. I've transformed into someone else. From that moment on, I'm Jasmine, I'm not myself.
Still ahead, getting buzzed on Broadway. We're going to talk about Broadway Wine Club and how it helps struggling actors and artists. I'm Tamsen Fadal, and this is Broadway Profiles. There's nothing quite like the buzz you get from going to a Broadway show, but Broadway Wine Club sure does come close. It is a first-of-its-kind experience that combines the best of Broadway with the finest wines, and it also supports struggling artists in their time of need. Take a look.
I'm Arvind Ethan David. I'm one of the lead producers of Jagged Little Pill. The Broadway Wine Club came out of the fact that I really like wine, and I was getting really sad that we were unable to serve what I would call good wine in the Broadhurst Theatre. And so I had just started working with the concession companies to see if we could source some good wine to put it into the theatre. And we were beginning to make some headway on that when, COVID. And so instead, what we've done over the last 6 months is to launch a business that connects Broadway audiences with really good wineries, and through the device of shipping great wine to your home. Here's an example. This is one of our inaugural Jagged Little Pill wine range.
Oh, that's so pretty.
It's pretty.
There's a beautiful vanilla note on there. A lot of nice pears, and even like I feel like there's some good apple in there, but it's not like that super acidic apple. It's like that good.
That's where I was on the apple side, but I'm gonna go back for the vanilla. Wait a minute, I'm gonna go back for the vanilla this time.
I'm looking forward to opening a bottle of Jagged Little wine in the Broadhurst Theatre and watching my show again. There's something very satisfying about creating anything, whether it's creating a show, writing a new book, writing a new play, or creating a business from nothing. And to go from an idea to a business that now has many hundred members and is generating real revenue, giving a portion of that revenue to charity, to the Actors Fund, and really helping both the winemakers who have lost a lot of their business because of COVID, and giving audiences who are missing a connection with Broadway something that gives them some solace in this time. That's just very happy making. There's a joy to have gone from a blank page to a new business.
And we'll be right back. For the latest Broadway news and buzz, let's send it over to Broadway.com's Editor-in-Chief Paul Wontorek.
Thanks, Tamsen. This week, the show's the thing. Here are some updates on musicals hoping to land on a stage near you soon. First up, Tony-winning director Kenny Leon will stage a Broadway revival of Ain't Supposed to Die a Natural Death. Melvin Van Peebles' musical is set in the rough streets of 1970s Manhattan. Filmmaker Mario Van Peebles, Melvin's eldest son, will serve as the creative producer for the production, which will play a Broadway theater to be announced in 2022. Now let's backtrack a bit, all the way back to the 17th century. Country music Grammy winner Jennifer Nettles, who starred as Roxy Hart in Chicago on Broadway, has a stage musical in the works about another Mary murderess. The show will spotlight Giulia Tofana, a real-life 17th century slow poisoner from Italy. She's reputed to have helped hundreds of women escape abusive marriages using her toxic potions. Nettles has created 12 songs about Tofana during lockdown. She and Broadway producer Adam Zadovich are searching for someone to write the show's book. No word yet on who will play the unexpected heroine.
Miranda Priestley's the editor-in-chief of Runway.
And a million girls would kill for this job. Well, not literally. Kate Weatherhead is writing the book for the upcoming musical adaptation of The Devil Wears Prada with playwright Paul Rudnick. The show, an adaptation of the best-selling book and hit movie starring Anne Hathaway and Meryl Streep, is set to premiere in Chicago in July 2022.
Together, we will save this country from those who would destroy it.
And last, but certainly not least, winter is coming to Broadway. George R.R. Martin's acclaimed Game of Thrones series is getting the stage treatment from playwright Duncan Macmillan and director Dominic Cook, with hopes for a debut in 2023. That's it for me. Back to you, Tamsen.
And that's going to do it for us. Until next week, I'm Tamsen Fadal, and this is Broadway Profiles, presented by Broadway.com.